Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I am Muhammad Fidaus bin Ismail. I am the group leader for Group 8, the combination from Group 8A and 8B. So this is our presentation group project. The title is The Relationship Between Emotion and Gender. So let's go to the introduction. For introduction, this assignment is focused on understanding how emotion differ between gender. Gender and emotion relationship are a topic of great interest to academic in social and psychological science. Social dynamic and personal well-being can be better understood when we recognize the difference between the emotional experience of men and women. Human behavior and life are greatly influenced by emotion. Emotional experience in men and women has been influenced by cultural norm and social expectation. Male are often thought to be tough and restricted, whereas women are perceived to be more emotionally expressive and caring. The way that emotions are expressed and interpreted by others are both influenced by this gender standard. This assignment seeks to clearly explain how gender and emotion are related to each other. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good day to Dr. and fellow friends. My name is Benjamin Hakim, A204970. My part to present is 2.0 and 3.0. For 2.0 is background of the research. So, without wasting time and have a short time, I proceed. A view evolutionary psychology perspective. Emotion are seen as evolved adaptations best understood through the lens of evolutionary psychology. There is evidence for cross-cultural generally of gender stereotype regarding emotions, suggesting some inherent gender difference. William and Bass, 1990, and Italy, 1994, found that gender stereotypes about emotions are widely held across different cultures. Uh, perspe- Perspective on social constructive. Many researchers about arg- Many researchers argue that different emotion behavior between men and women result from social rules and stereotypes. Stereotyping. Stereotypes provide models of accurate behavior which people may adopt, leading to a required gender difference in the expression of emotion. Next is 3.0, statement of the problem, impact of evolution by others. Wait, Sorry, now 2.0 C, integrative perspective. Emotions are both evolved and socially constructed, making it difficult to maintain a strict deco- dichotomy between the two approaches. While there is a distinction between basic and non-basic emotion, all emotions are fundamentally alike and culturally informed. Emotions are perceptual and evolved reactions, non-connective processes, and are not unique of human, indicating a blend of evolved and constructed environment. We jump to 3.0. 3.0 statement of the problem. Impact on evolution by others. Gender emotion belief influence how others, such as physicians, evaluate emotion symptoms. For instance, physicians are more likely to diagnose coronary heart disease (CHD) in a man than woman, presenting similar symptoms. Due, due to gender emotions stereotypes, physicians tend to focus more on psychosomatic symptoms in women compared to men, demonstrating a bias in the interpretation of emotional symptoms based on gender. Influence on self-perception and self-report. Gender emotion stereotypes affect how people report their own emotions. Self-reports are more likely to align with stereotype when the questions are general and distant in the time from the event. Meta-analysis showed larger gender gaps in the self-conscious emotions when global non-specific non-specific assessments are used, indicating that stereotypes influence self-perception. 3.0 Statement of the problem: impact on evolution by others. Gender emotion belief influence how others, such as physicians, evaluate emotion symptoms. For instance, physicians are more likely to diagnose coronary heart disease (CHD) in a man than woman, presenting similar symptoms. Due, due to gender emotions stereotypes, physicians tend to focus more on psychosomatic symptoms in women compared to men, demonstrating a bias in the interpretation of emotional symptoms based on gender. Influence on self-perception and self-report. Gender emotion stereotypes affect how people report their own emotions. Self-reports are more likely to align with stereotype when the questions are general and distant in the time from the event. Meta-analysis showed larger gender gaps in the self-conscious emotions when global non-specific non-specific assessments are used, indicating that stereotypes influence self-perception.
There are 3 points on the objectives. The first is to examine gender differences in emotional experience and intensity, or also by knowing and both different genders on emotional experiences, such as men and women differences on intensities. The second is to analyze gender differences in emotional expression and regulation, which both genders has different emotional and expression and also regulation. And the third point is to assess the impact of socio-cultural factors on gender and emotion. For the research methodology, the first approach, or the approach, is to make a quantitative research using a survey and literature review. And the sample for this is a 40 UCAM students with mixed disciplines, ages, and genders. The data collection is a structured survey on emotional experience and societal expectations using an analysis, which is statistical methods, or also as descriptive statistics, means, or standards deviation.
Participants completed the survey, with 29 men and 11 women. The gender distribution among the respondents was skewed, with males constituting the majority. When asked about their emotions experiences, females reported higher average intensity scores across all emotions compared to males. The survey was completed by a total of 40 participants, categorized into three age groups. Four respondents aged 19 to 20, 32 respondents aged 21 to 23, and 5 respondents aged 24 and above. The majority of respondents fell within the 21 to 23 age range, making up 80% of total sample. The remaining participants was distributing between the 19 to 20 age group and the 42 and above age group. Respondents aged 21 to 23 reported the highest average intensity of emotional experiences. Responses are mostly in the 4 to 5 range, the blue, indicating a general consensus that men's emotional expressions are greatly influenced by societal standards. Comparably, the majority of answers to the question read range from 3 to 5, suggesting that moderate to significant consensus exists regarding the impact of hormonal differences on mental states. The question yellow mostly concentrated in the 3 to 4 range, indicating a considerable degree of comfort with talking about emotions. The green cluster around 4 to 5 indicates that many people frequently witness gender stereotypes having an impact on their emotional relationships. Respond to orange are primarily in the 4 to 5 range, suggesting a strong conviction that gender stereotypes have a major impact on stress management techniques used by both men and women. Overall, the graph shows a broad consensus that stereotypes and society expectations play a significant influence in how people express and manage their emotions based on their gender. And according to this one, responses provided by the 40 respondents. It seems that the gender role that has the greatest perceived influence on mental health is what society expects of you. As stated by 25 of them. After this, 6 people think that holding emotions in check has a big impact on mental health. 3 respondents brought up preconceptions related to gender identity, while 4 respondents said conventional gender norms have an influence. Merely two respondents said the society stigmas had the greatest influence on mental health.
Hello everyone, this is part 7 discussion. Point 1. Effects of humor, variations between illness and psychological status. Read, most people have a basic knowledge of how humor contributes and mental processes. A range of answers throughout the scale may result from respondents taking into account these humorous variances. These hormonal variances free roots intertwined with gender roots and cultural expectations in addition to biology considerations. Point 2. Uncomfortable conversing candidate about feeling with people yellow. This was range of answers indicates that people's comfort levels when it comes to candidating communicating their feelings well greatly. This is influenced by a variety of factors, including personality traits, upbringing, cultural background, and personal experiences. Point 3. Gender stereotype impacts on how people react to emotional injury in in contents. Great. Many things may be to blame for this, such as how people are portrayed in the media, how they are socialized, and personal situations. In fact, these people they all encounter gender-based emotional response. Point 4. Gender stereotypes function as dues reduction oriented. The respondents' strange convictions problems indicate that they are recognize the impact of gender norms and stress management and emotional experience. Respondents conclude that gender stereotypes are important in that area of emotional regulation and their expectations might affect people's copy, techniques, and stress management approaches. Point 5 to summarize the decisions made by the respondents are problem expected by a variety of interrelated factors, including individual attitudes about gender and measures, cultural studies, and personal experience. Based on the results of the survey, if 40 people are discussing why many people choose that answer in our survey, I will be understanding the following aspects. 1. Social and cultural expectation. The finding shows that there is a significant difference between guilty and emotional expression, which is largely influenced by social and cultural expectations. Men are often expected to show toughness and emotional resilience, while women are encouraged to express more emotion and care. 2. Biological and physiological factors. It was mentioned in the survey that gender difference in emotional experience and expression may be rooted not only in social-cultural factors, but also in biological and physiological factors. For example, hormonal differences were in dating fed as a culture influencing the differences in emotional experience and expressed between men and women. Social construction of emotions. The survey also mentioned that emotions are not only biological responses but also products of social constructs. Different cultures are different expectations and modes for the understanding of expression of emotions. This diverse social constructs perspective leads practical parents to believe that gender difference in emotional expressions and experience stem in part from social and cultural shapes. Self-expression and experience of emotions. Individuals' expressions and experiences of the emotions also influence their choice in service. People may respond to survey questions based on their own experience and personal understanding of emotions, which are in turn influenced by the factors described above.
In summary, social norms, cultural expansions, and personal experience all have an impact on the completely and complete link between emotion and gender. Research indicates that while conversation gender normal frequently direct particularly emotion displays for men and women, this expectation and can have a substantial impact on mental health, particularly in young teens. Social pressure to adhere to gender stereotypes may expand stress, worsen symptoms or depression, and cause illnesses. But important to acknowledge that people, regardless of gender, may experience and express emotion differently. Additionally, let go of strict gender norms can support mental health and emotion honesty in the future, promoting a broader acceptance of a range of emotion experience and questioning gender-based normals can help create a social that is more supportive and equal for all people, regardless of gender. Mm, Moreover, the creator show between emotion and gender the necessity of saturated in and discover to complete the ways in which social strains impact emotion and mental health concurrence. Research has indicated that cultural norms around gender roles has the potential to social inequalities and expect difference in mental health. Nonetheless, there is hopeful fostering emotion and well-being. The week of recent movement towards increased inclusion and acceptance of rather gender intense. We can build more accepting social tales and advance mental health, parting by question gender stereotypes and promoting settings that allow people to openly experience their feelings. In the end, adopting a nuanced perspective on the between gender and emotion can result in more comprehensive most of training mental illness and advance socially.